Welcome to episode 2 of Sausage Watch. Nah, it's not Sausage Watch today, boys and girls. It's episode 2 of Q&A. So I think it went down. Look, God, I don't want to have to be doing silly stuff like that. I really don't. If I'm honest, but the trouble is, I just feel sometimes you've got to do that because people just seem to think they can get away with things, and it's at the end of the day, it's not nice for people to have to listen and watch things like that. And I see it happen to people online, and I don't like it. It's happening. It happens to our friends of mine. You know what I mean? Like Connor, like I said in the last episode, he's been taking some grief off certain individuals and stuff like that, just because of jealousy, really. And I don't like it. You know what I mean? And to be fair, he's I don't think he likes it, but he's a bit more placid. You know what I mean? And he obviously he's new to it and stuff like that. Or I'm a bit more old school with it, and he don't upset anybody on the channel and stuff like that, which is fair play. But for me personally, now I got to a stage in my life where I think, you know what, I've had enough of it. I'm not gonna put up with it. Why should I have to put up with it? It's exactly the same with anybody else. You don't have to put up with things like that. And yeah, that's why I put it together, really, guys. So yeah, here we go. But 5 questions, and yeah, it's been going well. I mean, I think the production's been going down really well. People seem to like what's going on and enjoying the content and stuff. So yeah, we'll keep doing it. So I've got a question from Bert. Nice one, Andy. I'm taking a few notes here about prices. I'm just wondering how long it was between leaving Heathrow and getting to Bodo, counting the stops. The ones I'm looking at are around 7 to 9 hours, all in, with up to 2 stops from Edinburgh. Also noticed you... All right, I'll answer that question first, all right? It's a one question, but it's got 2 parts to it. So, you're about right there, mate. I mean, we went, I think it's 2 hours to Oslo, roughly, and then from there, you're 3 hours or something like that. And then you've got a wait, which was we could have either an hour and a half wait or 4 hour wait. Personally, I'd go for a 4 hour wait. I know it's waiting longer, but if you getting any like delays and stuff, it can cost you, as we found out on the way back, and ended up having to get free flights. So you're roughly around that, mate. The next part of it is also, I noticed you mostly fish baits. Do you think we could take some fish baits and bring some worm and mussel with a few packs of decent fish baits in reserve? And great idea for filling a cool box with bacon and sausages, etc. I can see you're buzzing at the trip, and that's what it's all about. Cheers. Yeah, thanks. Nice one, Bert. Really buzzing, Matt. Really buzzing. I mean, yeah, just what experience. I mean, highly recommend it. But I think if you were going over there just to catch fish, mate, I think you'd have caught more fish. And you're always fishing smaller baits, you've got a chance of catching bigger fish at the same time. And I think worm baits we'd have probably seen more fish, if I'm honest. And yeah, I would definitely recommend worm baits. I mean, when we went over down Phil Dale's area, it was the guys were using worm baits had bigger fish than we did, like bigger cod pies and stuff. So I think worm baits would work a treat. I'd like to take some worm baits next time. And yeah, I would recommend that, mate. Would recommend that. But yeah, you're up Scotland way, aren't you? I'm heading up there soon. The only thing I've gutted about really is when we've done the trip, we've done it for the Christmas special, and the weather was too bad for it. So unfortunately, we couldn't get what I wanted with the wind and the drone and stuff like that. So we're heading to Scotland. So if you know any skate marks and stuff, hook a brother up. Cause I've got a few at the minute, but I'm looking for somewhere like just easy, you know what I mean, just to get the filming and stuff, and like anywhere I'm not going to upset people from filming and bits and pieces like that. I mean, there's plenty of stuff on YouTube. I've got a few marks already, but yeah, and yeah, looking for a few like decent marks as well, which can pull a few fish out. So hopefully we can get up there and have a go. But yeah, thanks for the question, mate. So question 2. We have from Dave. Loved Sausage Watch. I have gone through the same harassment on social media, and it's not nice. Do you find ignoring them works better? To be honest, Dave, no, mate. I don't. I mean, Nick used to say to me all the time. Me personally, someone says something like that, I want to speak. I want to see them. You know what I mean? Because I want to say what's their issue. I mean, like I said before, anybody can say stuff over line and stuff like that. And what you find is a lot of people will say stuff online, but they won't say it to you. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen over and over again. At least if someone's got an issue, you can express with them, and you can see what's the issue. I mean, and as I said, most of the time it ends up getting sorted out, and everybody's talking again. Some reasons, in some instances, it doesn't it? But I'll tell it. I'm not going to mention names, so I don't want to bring stuff back up. But basically, there was a situation a few years ago where a certain individual was giving me a lot of abuse online. Okay, and I mean a lot of abuse online, and it was so strange because going back when I was younger, doing like the Ray stuff and that all the time, I used to get on. I mean, he was a good fisherman, a good angler. I wouldn't class him as a really good specimen hunter, but he caught fish. You know what I mean, he's a good angler. He knew what he's doing and stuff. And yeah, he used to share the pictures on thing. I used to put pictures up of his, and he'd share pictures, and like you get involved in sea angling adventures and stuff like that. And when I started joining club fishing and doing club fishing and stuff, and started like more going for specimen hunting and starting catching decent like different other species and that, he for some reason he disliked it, and he sent me a message one evening saying, "Andy, I'm a better angler than you." And I thought, what do you mean by that? And I went, okay, what do you mean by that? And he's like, I catch better fish than you, and you're doing all the magazine sort of stuff and stuff like that, and I'm better than you. And I thought, what sort of person says that? Anyway, I let it go over my shoulder. And from then on, it just went erupted. I mean, every time you'd see me a picture online through salt sea fishing, it would be him written or comments over it. I think it got to the stage where he's actually blocked from the page. And yeah, it just went on and on and on and on and on. And in the end, I had enough of it. So I started giving him some abuse back, which I don't like to do, because the trouble is when you're doing sea angle adventures like that sort of stuff, you've got to try and be more professional with it. You know, I mean, Nick used to, like, thank God for Nick, because I'd be in my car ready to go up and see people. You know what I mean? And he'd be going, "Webby, calm down, get your head together, just let it go." You know what I mean? It doesn't mean nothing. They're jealous. Just let them go. You know what I mean? And he was right with what he said, and he's probably watching this going, "I told you," and he's probably watching Sausage Watch going, "Oh, here we go again." But guys, people shouldn't have to take that kind of shit. All right, people shouldn't have to take that kind of shit. And we live in a society now where, like, basically, for some reason now, in like the politics sort of side of it, you're not allowed free speech. You're not allowed to talk about certain things. But it's all right for all these individuals start to harassing different people online and stuff like that, which I feel is wrong. And anyway, it got to a stage where I had enough. And 9 times out of 10, when people got an issue with me and I see them and I pull them on it, they won't say nothing. They'll be like, "All right, Andy," you know what I mean? And like that, and that makes me even more angry, because I think to myself, you little slight, you know what I mean? It's just bollocks. And anyway, I wanted, because it got to that stage, I didn't want that to happen. I really wanted it, when he seen me, for him to walk up and punch me right in the face, because then I can react to it. I was that angry with the situation. Anyway, one thing or another, they were putting like making silly pictures up for me and stuff like that. Anyway, we had this picture made up and we put it online. And he went absolutely mental for about 10 minutes. And I never heard a peep out of him again. Never heard a peep out of him again. And do you know why? And I think the reason why is when you do something like that, it's war. You're declaring war physically, you know what I mean? And he didn't want it. I think that was what it boiled down to. I think he knew that it gone that serious, and I don't like that. I don't like having to do stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be treated like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have people just sitting there and just badmouthing me for no reason at all. And I think it's disrespectful, and I think it's just plain online bullying. I mean, and people have accused me of doing it, and people probably watch this video now and say, "Oh, you're bullying him, or you're bullying him and bullying that." I'm not mentioning no names whatsoever. I'm not bullying no one. All I'm trying to do is put my point across, and especially to younger people and stuff like that. And because some people haven't got like broad shoulders, you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. Where a lot of people would bother them, and it could lead to depression, it could lead to anxiety, it can lead to loads of different things, you know what I mean? And I don't feel people should have to go through that. I don't know what you guys think. If you do think, I'd like to see it in the comments. You know, it's not just me answering the questions and stuff. And yeah, please write in the comments. One of the ones I forgot to put the other day was when people said to me about that big fish angling, and who's the best angler and stuff, and who's the specimen hunter and the match angler. I'll tell you what I'd like you guys to do is tell me your top 3. Put your top 3 in the comment boxes, and let's see, because there's probably lots of anglers out there around the UK what deserve the respect for being. You know what I mean? I don't know everybody. You know what I mean? And it'd be nice to get those guys some publicity and that, because just because I think something's right doesn't necessarily make it right. I just give my opinion on it. You know what I mean? But to the answer to your question is, I don't find that that works, mate. Personally, I think it just allows them to go on and on and on and on and on. And what annoys me half the time is that they're noddies. They're complete noddies. I mean, and you're like, they're slagging me off the hell, and you look on their profiles. I mean, there was another guy not so long ago slagging me off, and then you're looking on the catch reports and you're seeing them, they're holding little rays and stuff, and you're thinking, how the hell are you having a go at me? You know what I mean? Just ridiculous. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know. It's not nice, but I feel if you're gone through that sort of thing, Dave, and you're still getting it, then there's reasons why you are getting it. All right, unfortunately, you've either got to stick up for yourself or you just let it go. But by letting it go, you let them win. I don't know if that's the right saying in the matter. I think there's no winning or losing in that situation. I think it's a load of rubbish, what shouldn't be happening in the first place, if I'm honest. But I've answered the question, mate, and I'll just give you my honest opinion on it, all right? So, yeah, I hope it all works out for you, and if you are getting that sort of thing, then I'm sure you'll get the same advice as I do, that it's jealousy and just let them carry on, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, if you're getting it and it's not going away, maybe it's something what you can only solve the issue with. I hope that helps, buddy. All right, mate. But yeah, it's not nice, and I do feel for you with it. Okay, so we go on to question 3. Interesting. Watch your first episode of Q&A. You said anyone can catch the type of fish you catch. Where do I start? Matthew. Matthew. All right, Matt. What can I say, mate? It's knowledge. Is the only way to put it. I mean, I haven't always caught fish like that. I used to take a lot of grief growing up, doing a lot of the YouTube sort of stuff and that. And a bit like now, because I look like I said the other day, it's like a circus out there with YouTube videos and that. And I was probably part of the circus at the beginning. I was probably the leading circus at the beginning, because when I first started doing YouTube, I didn't know a lot. You know what I mean? I was covering my own fishing. And you got the likes of some of the guys what were around at the time, what were being sponsored and stuff, and then you suddenly got this young lad what come into the scene with no like big fish like sort of stuff to his name, or like no angling skill in general, and he's going fishing and catching, like, I'm not saying big fish, but I'm not thinking small fish, but I'm just going out fishing like a lot of them do now, and I'm suddenly getting sponsored by everybody. I'm suddenly getting paid to go fishing, and that was my job, and I think it's upset people, you know what I mean? And me personally, when I was younger, looking at the magazines and stuff like that, there was, like I said, I had icons what I used to look up to, and I still do to this day. I mean, I didn't know the likes of some of the club lads then, because I was in the club scene. I mean, I was always against soaking fish and stuff like that, and I never thought I'd end up getting into the club scene. I think the only reason I did is because the soaking sort of faded out, and yeah, it's, I don't know. I when you want something, me personally, I'll get it. I'll do it. You know what I mean? And the only way for me, I had it hard. I mean, you look at some of the guys that, like, some of the like Plymouth guys, like Rob, for example, Mark, over the years, they've took under the wing. I mean, I can think of one lad in particular, a complete and utter like novice angler who used to go around catching like small thornbacks off of like Battery Key and like whiting and dogfish, and just like not of a clue. And they sort of like took him under their wing and spoon fed the lad, really, give him all the information. And to be fair, give the guy his due now, he catches fish, you know what I mean? He's had some amazing fish, including the British record. And that the trouble is, you need that. You need to be able to be good at something. You're not going to be able to do it all on your own, and you need advice, and you need to pick up of anglers and stuff like that. Where me in my early days, I never had that. I used to go over to Wales and like fish was like Steve Gregory and Wayne McEwen, and sort of like pick up what they were doing with like rigs and bait ups and stuff like that. But the trouble is, our coast is totally different fishing. and I'd have to put the time in. And I'd be up and down cliffs. I'd be looking at survey maps. I'd be finding marks. And my ex-wife and my stepson, Scott, he would sit and tell you the amount of hours we spent going up and down cliffs, going off of my back really, because obviously I'd look and find something and go, we're going there, and he'd come with me. He must look back now and think, what a sausage. Why did I listen to him? I mean, up and down cliff faces and that. The family would be walking along like the top of the cliff with the kids and that, doing a nice walking path. And I'd be going up and down the cliff. You know what I mean? I'd be knackered by the time. I'd take a rod with leads and I'd be casting out and reeling back in slowly, just checking the ground and seeing what the ground's like and writing it in a book and stuff. And it was all homework and knowledge. And I think me personally, that I had to go through all that, and it made me who I am today. It made me know venues and stuff like that, and like I'm not, at the end of the day, I've been took to venues. I've been lucky enough to be surrounded with some really good anglers as well. Obviously, a lot of anglers which I've met along the way, and I think when you fish with people, you pick up certain things from certain individuals, and it might be something really little like that or that, you know what I mean, like, and stuff like that. It's like Yorkie with like to be fair, honest, it's like exactly the same with the snail knot and stuff like that. That's where it comes from, you know what I mean? I remember because I used to use just a small chinny on the top, you know what I mean, and I used to wrap it round and click it into the thing, so it's always the same hooks and that. But I remember being up Hinkley Point once, and me and Will found this rig. And it was one of Yorkies, and it had been basically with a snail knot and that. And I said to him about it, and he was talking. He goes, "Yeah, I like to use that because it's fixed," and it made sense. And I've used it ever since. It's a little thing like that. And I mean, Craig Pope don't see eye to eye, but I'm not being funny. I've got a lot of respect for Craig as an angler, because I know he took a lot of grief many years ago. But he's a very, very good angler, and I mean a very, very good angler, and I learned a lot from Craig at the same time. To be honest, I was a bit gutted with the way that all happened. I mean, he messaged me after we fell out, going back a few years, and apologised to me, and me at the time I was a bit, you know what, I don't want to know, and I have that with people. I mean, if people do so, because I'm quite kind-hearted with my friends, I'll do anything for anyone, you know what I mean, and if someone does something to upset me, I'm a bit stubborn, and I just won't bother with them, you know what I mean. And to be fair, I spent loads of time with Craig. He used to come down here fishing, and I'll take him to marks, he'd take me to marks and stuff like that. And really good angler. And I think you sort of take away stuff like, I never knew nothing about finlip mulleting at the time, and some of the stuff what I've learned on finlip mulleting were to do with like the rigs and stuff like that, because that's where it all come from. But when he went to Australia, and I was in the club at the time, and he sold me a load of finlip mulleting gear with all the stuff, and he's had some massive fish to his name, you know what I mean. And yes, it's that sort of thing really. But you sort of like, and he probably picked stuff up off of me from when we're down here, like ray fishing and stuff like that. You know what I mean, and that's what happens when that's a good part of fishing. But if you haven't got that, those sort of anglers around you, then you've got to do it yourself. And the trouble is, if you've got to do it yourself, that's when it becomes hard. And my early years was very hard, and it was input. You're looking on Google, guys. You're gonna have to look for deep water. You're gonna have to. And the good thing about the internet now is you could put, "I want to catch a blonde ray," and you put it in, and it'll come up where you can catch it. You want to go and catch a thornback ray, it'll come up. You want to go bass fishing, and it will tell you that around certain areas and stuff like that. And through forums and stuff like that, fishing is made literally a piece of piss now, if I'm honest. I mean, compared to what it used to be, I mean, people have got it easy. Us old boys, we never even with like Google and that, I had a bit of Google. I used to be able to look and stuff like that on it, and then I had survey maps and that as well to give me more detail, and I used to look. But some of the older boys now never even had Google, you know what I mean. They used to have to have their maps and go and just walk with maps, you know what I mean. And I know guys what used to do that. So the answer to your question, Matt, is the only person what can. So where do you start? Is yourself. Look on Google, look on the internet, see what you want to. You might not want to catch massive fish, but you might want to catch certain species. The internet will give you all the access and stuff you need, and the main thing then is just time. If you catch a fish and it's that species, start it in the venue more often, and it will get bigger and better. It's the main advice I can give you on that, mate. But I hope it works. So Andy sent me a message. What do you think of the tip tornado sport? Woohoo! Used to love the tip tornado sports back in the day. Big fan of them. The Mark IIs I actually owned a pair of for raying and stuff. A mate of mine, Lee Bridle, bless his cotton socks. I love the boy. I ain't seen him for many years. I used to work with him, and we spent a lot of time. He used to hate my kind of fishing. He was a big biker looking boy, like you know what I mean, lovely lad. And I used to take him one mark I used to go to, and we got there was people there, and we had to go back to the other mark through thorns. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen anybody. So he was like an incredible oak, and he was green by the time we got to the thing, and he got down, catch the dogfish, and he was over the moon then, and it was all forgotten about. But he actually had them, though, the tip tornadoes, and he loved them as well. But I was using Gav's Mark 1s over in Norway, and I can really recommend those rods from Norway. A lovely tip on them, quite soft to cast, but handle 200-gram leads and big baits and stuff out there, you know what I mean? So yeah, really nice rod, got really nice rod. If you're ray fishing and doing mixed stuff over here, perfect all-rounder really. So yeah, hope that helps, and so last of all, we have question 5 from Scott, and Scott's asked, thinking of joining a club and I'm based in Totnes, can you recommend one? Many thanks, Scott. Okay, Scott, so it depends. I've only been in a few clubs, and I don't want to upset anybody. It's an hard one to answer. Me personally, I don't know what type of fishing you do. If you're looking for a challenge, Rod Bender's SAC, based in Plymouth, and then you've got the Plymouth Sound SAC, which is run by Southwest Sea Baits in Plymouth, which has got a really nice bunch of lads and stuff like that in. Both clubs are not very clicky. Obviously, you'd be welcome in with both clubs. I think Plymouth, if you're not into like big specimen fishing and stuff like that, to be fair, I'm not sure who's in Rod Bender's anymore. I'm not sure if they've got the same. I don't know who's in there, but I know Shags, and they've got some really good anglers in there. I mean, Steve Arnold's still in there, and that. I don't know if Stu's in there or whatever, but you've got some nice lads in there. But yeah, one of those two I would highly recommend. Rod Bender's definitely would be a challenge, I would say, and obviously it's exactly the same with Plymouth Sound SAC. They've got some really good anglers in as well. So personally, you got two choices there. There's loads of different clubs around and stuff. Yeah, it's the only ones I can really recommend, really, mate, if I'm honest. Obviously, you've got to give out of experience with clubs and stuff, and it's the only ones that I personally would recommend. And yeah, I hope that helps. But yeah, that's your 5 questions from myself for episode 2. And thank God we haven't got sausage box today, because my missus has come back, and I think we're gonna have a bit of breakfast. It's like Sunday mid morning now, and I was gonna go fishing today, but I've got a day off tomorrow, so I've got tomorrow and Tuesday off. So I'm thinking me go and catch a few fish. So Connor's just messaged me now, and I'm in between 2 marks. So let's see. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. Catch you in the next one. Tight lines.